¿Qué tal, amigas, amigos de Voces Universitarias Televisión? Gracias por estar con nosotros. Y bueno, pues nos da mucho gusto estar aquí en esta sala de rectores donde se inician los acuerdos, sobre todo estas aproximaciones, donde la internacionalización y la vinculación es muy importante para nosotros. Y bueno, pues agradezco mucho que estén esta mañana maestras que están viniendo de Estados Unidos, en particular de la Universidad de Utah. Obviamente también agradecer a la doctora Deon Heffington, quien es quien es directora de Desarrollo Académico y profesora investigadora de la licenciatura en lengua inglesa. Bienvenida, Deon. Muchas gracias. También muchas gracias por estar esta mañana a Miss Verónica Valdez, quien es profesora titular del Departamento de la Universidad de Utah, a Miss Tuba Yilmaz, quien es profesora asistente de la Universidad de Utah, a Miss Marci Cornaby, quien es profesora de primaria del 5º grado en la Escuela de Sunrise en Utah. Bienvenidas. Bueno, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We are happy to welcome to you. Welcome to home at the University of Quintana Roo. And thank you for this interview. Well, and the first one, dear John, is tell us what is the main reason for establishing this collaboration agreement between the University of Utah and University of Quintana Roo.
Of course. Well, thank you first of all to all of our university staff and team who are helping us, right, to communicate what the actions that the university is pursuing in terms of outreach programs. So it's really important for our university to establish these international connections with other peer universities, like within Mexico, but also outside of Mexico, and of course in the United States, right? So in this case, we're really happy to welcome you here. Thank you for being here. We have friendships that go back a long time, and it's really exciting to be able to partner and network with them. I think first we're starting about one specific study abroad program, right? But it's one example of one action that we can afterwards pursue and extend to other areas, for example, and also pursue other projects like research or other outreach programs. So I think that as Universidad Autónoma del Estado de Quintana Roo, we are really happy to have you here today, and we're really going to do everything that we can to make things move forward and receive hopefully your students in 2027. So during the days that they have been here, so they just arrived at our university right now, our past Monday. So they've been here for a few days, and basically we've been having meetings with staff from the University of Quintana Roo. We've been having both with academic and administrative areas, and to be able to happen or to make this study abroad happen, what we're doing is thinking about things, for example, what does that mean in terms of visiting? So they are specifically interested in having their pre-service teachers who are at University of Utah, or even in-service teachers, right, come and study abroad and be able to experience what it's like in schools in Mexico. So as we know, right, there are increasing number of students who are in the United States or in other English-speaking countries who are from a Latinx background. And it's very important that teachers are sensitive to the different cultural and linguistic needs of diverse students. So that's the main goal of this project. Of course, they will have other opportunities not only to experience life in elementary, middle schools or high schools, but they will also have the opportunity to experience what it is like here in some university classes, maybe perhaps take a Spanish for Foreigners class, I don't know, something like that. And of course, we'll also have some other cultural and historical activities like on the side that they will be carrying out.
Okay, well, that's welcome. Well, and Veronica Valdez, how felt so far? Utah is very different, completely opposite in terms of landscape, like the mountains and the forests. The temperature is very warm here in Chetumal. But have you ever seen the bay? Eating marquesitas? Have you ever enjoyed especie tacos? Something like this? Tell me about your experience here now. Welcome.
I think for me, this is almost like coming back home, right? So I've been in Utah now for 18 years, and it's a beautiful landscape, but almost opposite to here, right? It's very, there are mountains that surround the city. It's higher altitude, right? We have 4 seasons, so we have a winter, spring, fall, and summer. We get probably as hot as Chetumal during the summer, but we get very cold in the winter. Yeah. We have snow. But it's a beautiful, beautiful landscape, lots of green, but a very different green than we see here, right? This is almost like a tropical paradise, right? Very warm, but I think it's a warmth that goes beyond temperature, right? It's also the warmth of people and just the people that you meet make you feel like this is home. And we've really appreciated that as we've gone through our visit, and welcoming us and making us feel like we've returned home.
Okay, thank you so much. Dear Tuba Yilmaz, welcome. How important is for your students' professional and personal development to get to know Mexico and especially Mayan culture? Welcome.
Thank you so much. So I'm a teacher educator, and I work at the University of Utah for 3 years. And I'm teaching these courses that help teachers, pre-service teachers, to gain skills to teach English language learners or immigrant students in the United States. And Mexican students or Latin American students are majority of these classrooms. So so far, our students learn the theories and everything about how to teach them, but actually this program can give them an opportunity to come here and then see how these students' lives were in Mexico, and their culture, their food, and then they learn about Mayan culture, how they have a relationship between Mayan culture and the Spanish culture. So these are really important things that they can gain only here. Yeah, so that's why we decided to start this program, and it is going to be very beneficial. Even for me, I am a Turkish person from Turkey, so I learned a lot about Mexico so far, and I believe they are going to be learning much more than I do.
Yes, I will do. This exchange program, which the students will participate in 2027, will allow them observe English teaching and techniques, and learn about of culture. What will those first meetings will be like between your students and our students before they visit settlement?
So they don't know Spanish. They take Spanish courses in the United States during high school as a foreign language. Most of them take, but they don't know. They just maybe know a few words and stuff. So this is going to be a real experience where they get immersed into Spanish-speaking culture, where like they can use their English, but it's going to be more like they have to know some Spanish. So their experience, I believe, is going to be like they are going to understand what it means to live in a country where your dominant language or home language is not that much spoken. And they are going to hopefully develop that empathy that they can have with their language learners in their classrooms. And
I would just say that one of the win-win, what we call a win-win situation, is that teachers here, right, are learning English, but are fluent in Spanish or Spanish and Maya, right? The teachers that are coming from the U.S., from Utah, will be speaking English but not know much Spanish. So they will be able to help the students here, right, practice their English. And hopefully the teachers here will help them learn some Spanish and Mayan.
yes, yes.
It's win to win. Wow. Dear Marci Cornaby, welcome. I know you have visited public elementary schools here in Mexico. I would like to hear your observation regarding English language teaching strategies for children. Have you noticed any difference or similarities?
The materials, you asked?
Yes.
I have. Yesterday, when we visited the public school, I noticed that their gym class was outside, where in America we have a gym that they play in on the inside. I was very impressed with how the students reacted to their teachers and the respect that they had. The materials, I saw tables with books and notebooks, which is a lot like we have in the United States. However, in the United States, I would say in my classroom, we have separate cubbies for the students to put their materials in as they go home. And so our classroom is supposed to look clean and everything put away day after day. But we have the same type of materials, the books, the notebooks. In the English language class, I noticed the students underlining certain things in different pencils. And I also noticed when I went to speak to the students, it was hard for them to understand me as someone from America. However, when they tried to speak to me, I could understand them. And it was very fun to see them try to find something to talk to us about in English. And I hope that we made a good impression on them, how English, they can learn it and how it can enrich their lives and how we speak it all together. And we're one people.
Okay. Also, what experience do your students hope to incorporate into their English language teaching at Utah?
At Utah, oh, this is a wonderful question because the teachers here in Mexico, they want the same things that we want as teachers in the United States. We want the success of our students. We want the students to grow. We want them to feel good about themselves. And I saw that here in Mexico with the teachers of the public elementary school. I think we can learn. The teachers coming from the University of Utah, they can see how, although the cultures are different, we're all one people. We all have the same needs, wants, and we all have those basic needs that transcend the cultures. And so knowing that these students, although they only speak Spanish, they need to feel loved. They need to feel cared for. They need to know that we see them and we are able to converse with them at some level.
Obviously, dear Veronica, this is the beginning of what could be a longer project, expanding this collaboration agreement is other fields to the novel, such as health and engineering. No?
Yeah, so we're seeing this as a first step. We are starting with a pilot program in 2027 with teachers, but the agreement that we're hoping to eventually have will be between the two universities that allows opportunities for other departments, units, divisions to be able to collaborate with similar divisions at the University of Utah. So schools of engineering might be able to collaborate, schools of medicine. The University of Utah is one of the universities in the U.S. that also has health sciences and a medical school and a dental school. And so those are also areas that the university is interested in collaborating with.
Okay, thank you so much. And is there anything else what you would like to add?
I think the beauty of Quintana Roo in general is just the fact that it's a very multilingual, multicultural community that values that and puts it front and center. And that is the experience that we want teachers from Utah to experience, right? That it is possible to have community-centered in ways that allow for the richness of the culture and the languages to be able to be used and valued. And so, yeah, so I think that's just the beautiful part about Chetumal and Quintana Roo.
Thank you so much. And Tuba, is else anything do you want to add?
Well, we are looking forward for starting this program in 27 spring semester. So, and grow it to teachers or community members. So hopefully everything will be perfect.
Excellent.
Like your country.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Then Marci, is there anything else you would like to add?
I think this is an experience every teacher should have. As a teacher of bilingual students and multilingual students, now coming to Chetumal, I can see how more alike we are than we think. And especially with the Mayan culture, I know my students, they think the Mayans are ancient and long gone. But yesterday we were able to see that they are still here. The language is still flourishing. And to get that across to my students, I think is invaluable.
John, is anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, I just want to send a huge shout out and thank you to the University of Utah for your colleagues for being here, for the Department of Culture, Language, and Education from the University of Utah, because I think that it's thanks to these type of programs and these first steps that we're able to take that we can actually make things happen and make a change and a difference, right, in what we're looking for our teachers, our students, our pre-service teachers. I know that as part of a university, which also thank you to our university leaders who help us establish these connections and promote them as well, because I think that one of our things that we really need to work hard on as teachers is to be able to connect and empathize with our students, right? To be able to build on their background knowledge and on their prior knowledge and their background experiences. And how are we going to do that if we're really not aware of what those background experiences are, right? And that prior knowledge or strategies or materials that schools have been used before. So as we've been talking about in previous days, I think also that we share, even though we don't have mountains, maybe in Chetumal, but we do share a lot of common themes, right? We also have multilingual, multicultural experiences and students. And so I think that as we are able to gap this bridge that connects our countries as well, then I think that we're going to be able to work better for our teachers and our students. So thank you for turning to us, and we hope to see you again in spring 2027.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you for welcoming us.
Yes.
This has been at all levels, from the teachers in the community to the administrators to the instructors across the university. Everybody has been so incredibly welcoming and just extending themselves above and beyond to make this possible and helping us dream what program we can put together that will be beneficial not just for our students, but also for students here at the University of Quintana Roo.
Well, thank you so much for this interview. ¿Qué tal, amigas y amigos de Voces Universitarias? Gracias por seguir con nosotros. Y bueno, pues hablamos anteriormente de las maestras que nos visitaron de la Universidad de Utah, quienes agradecemos que nos hayan visitado. Y obviamente también parte de esta globalización, internacionalización, pues también está la comida, y la verdad que nos da mucho gusto entrevistar a la maestra Ivonne Magaña, porque con sus estudiantes de la carrera de Mercadotecnia y Negocios, pues hacen una muy bonita muestra gastronómica año con año, maestra. La verdad que siempre es un gusto esos aromas, esos sabores. La verdad que los estudiantes le ponen mucho empeño y se esmeran por demostrar lo que digamos en cada estado y también en algún país que participan, pues es lo que nos da su gastronomía. Maestra, ¿cómo es que nace esta idea y cómo es que cada año usted permite que sus estudiantes investiguen sobre cada estado?
Bueno, es parte del programa de la materia Historia y Cultura Regional, y con ello culminamos. Hay una unidad que es lo que es Mesoamérica. Entonces Mesoamérica abarca de la mitad de México para abajo y también abarca países vecinos como son Guatemala, Honduras, parte de El Salvador, parte de Costa Rica, Belice. Y entonces por eso es que en esta muestra gastronómica podemos ver algunos estados de la República Mexicana, pero también hay presencia de Belice, de Guatemala y de Honduras en esta ocasión. Entonces, porque es parte, o sea, compartimos patrones culturales con estos países y con estos otros estados.
En efecto, yo también estados como, bueno, Yucatán, Campeche y Veracruz, que la verdad parecieran muy distintos, pero a veces tenemos ciertas similitudes en algunas cosas, algunas gastronomía, sobre todo algunos guisos también, ¿no? Y sobre todo algunos ingredientes bases como es ahora sí, el puerco, la res o los tamales y el maíz, ¿no?
Pues sí, o sea, los alumnos aprendieron en clase que el alimento básico para todas estas culturas mesoamericanas fue el maíz. La alimentación a base del maíz, frijol, calabaza, chile, cacao y café. Y en cada estado o en cada país algo más que hay. Por ejemplo, si estamos en la costa, el pescado. Si estamos no sé, en las partes donde hay mar, pues sal. Si estamos en otro, cada estado aporta algo propio, pero lo básico y lo común para todas estas culturas es el maíz.
Hola amigos, estamos en el recorrido de los stands de la carrera de Historia y Cultura y estamos con
Isabel.
Oliver.
Y cuéntenos, ¿qué estado le tocó, qué país les tocó o ustedes lo decidieron?
Pues a nosotros nos tocó el país de Guatemala. No lo decidimos, me parece que lo rifaron, entonces a nosotros nos tocó ese país.
¿Y qué tenemos aquí? ¿Qué muestras presentaron?
Tenemos el postre, que es atole con almendras. Es atole de chocolate con almendras cortadas.
Pues el día de hoy traemos tamales, conocidos como chuchitos o mejor conocidos como tamales de viaje. Normalmente tienen esta forma chica y redondita para que sea más fácil de transportar a la hora de viajar. Viene acompañado con salsa y agua de horchata.
Estamos en el estado de Veracruz. Bueno, ahorita aquí lo que tenemos es el ceviche típico, el cóctel. Aquí es carne chilanchada, hicimos picaditas y aquí estamos dando torito. Este torito tiene, mi compañera le puede decir qué tiene exactamente.
Es leche condensada, leche evaporada, leche de vaca, con una pizca de cacahuate, almendras y claro, con su cañita.
Y de alimento, ¿qué es lo que nos tienen para demostrarle a los demás? Las picaditas.
Tenemos las picaditas, la carne chilanchada, el cóctel. El cóctel está a base de camarón, caracol y pulpo. Tenemos las cocadas y el café veracruzano.
Y ahora estamos en el stand, pero ahora de Quintana Roo, en nuestro estado. Así que hoy estamos con
Oriana.
Oriana. Platícanos qué es lo que tienes acá en tu muestra.
Aquí tenemos empanadas de chaya, tenemos arroz con leche, pozol y tamalitos de elote. Tenemos dulces y salados.
Y cuéntanos cómo es que elaboraron todas estas comidas, esta actividad, esta decoración muy hermosa que tienen acá de nuestro estado.
Las empanadas las hicimos desde cero, la masa, la chaya la cortamos. Ya ven que luego la chaya dicen que hay que pedirle permiso, pues le pedimos permiso a la chaya.
Qué bueno.
Los tamalitos de elote los hicimos desde la hoja, el maíz, todo. El arroz con leche y el pozole, pues fueron hervidos.
Ahora nos encontramos en Guerrero, así que platícanos cuál fue la elaboración de este stand, de este estado.
Bueno, el día de hoy manejamos 3 platillos, que son el aporreado, que es huevo con cecina, las torrejas, que están hechas a base de plátano macho con huevo y harina, y los tamales rojos. También tenemos a juego una decoración, que son las palmeras y las olas del mar representativas de las playas de Acapulco, Guerrero.
Ahora nos encontramos en el estado de Yucatán. Estamos con Ángel, así que platícanos qué es lo que tienes acá para muestra.
Bueno, pues mira, para nuestra muestra traemos salbutes y panuchos, que por el momento pues ya se nos acabaron. Fue lo primerito que voló. También traemos de relleno negro, con but negro, de dulces, trajimos unchos, trajimos dulces de pepita, de coco, y pues es todo lo que traemos también. Y representando también una de las bebidas, agua de chaya.
Y la decoración muy bonita, ¿qué es lo que tienen cómo es el nombre de este?
Este es una cruz de yaché, ¿ok? Es muy originario de Yucatán.
Ahora estamos en Guatemala, así que María, platícanos qué es lo que tienes acá de muestra para todos los estudiantes y maestros que vienen a probar.
Nosotros preparamos un guiso de salsa verde que lleva tomate verde, cilantro, perejil, pimiento y tallos de cebollín, al igual que tiene pepita. Tiene pollo y arroz. Igual hicimos unos tamales a base de maíz con recado rojo y pollo. Y para tomar es una bebida, bueno, es como postre y bebida, que es en arroz con leche. Ok, muy rico, se ve muy delicioso todo lo que tienen que preparar. Y la decoración, ¿quién decoró tan bonito? Todos decoramos, pero las que más decoraron fueron mis compañeras de acá. Ellos se organizaron para hacer el arco de globos, se compró la bandera y se hizo todo a mano. Ahora nos encontramos en Chiapas. Miren esta bonita decoración que hicieron nuestras compañeras. Así que platícanos cómo fue la elaboración, el proceso de cada comida que tuvieron, porque ya la venta ya se les fue.
Pues, para empezar, nosotros quisimos aportar 2 tipos de tamales, uno llamado chipilín y otro llamado de bola. No es que sea queso de bola, sino que es un tipo de tamal específico de Chiapas. Los 2 son de puerco y pues el chipilín es una planta muy de ahí del estado de Chiapas, entonces quisimos agregarlo en esta comida para que resaltara el espíritu del estado de Chiapas.
Es un bizcocho de marquesote y está sumergido de canela y anís. Es un pan muy típico igual de Chiapas.
La mamá de un compañero tenía ya de que las cosas tradicionales y así pusimos la mesa, los abanicos, o sea, casi todo fue improvisado porque esto igual lo tenía la mamá de... Porque no gastamos en decoración.
Y ahora estamos con nuestros vecinos, aquí en Belice. Así que, ¿qué nos trajeron el día de hoy?
Trajimos lo que es rice and beans, que es pollo adobado con arroz hecho a base de coco. Igual un poco de ensalada y la cebollita. Y los platanitos fritos.
Ok, muy delicioso se ve la comida, lo que hicieron el día de hoy de muestra. ¿Nos trajeron algo más de tomar?
Sí, jugo de piña, que pues es una bebida común, pero que se maneja mucho en Belice. La verdad es que estaba muy bueno.
Esto fue Voces Universitarias Televisión. Hasta la próxima.